Okay, I'm going to show you how to find the back end of your form for Microsoft Forms. So first you're going to go ahead up at the top and you're going to log into Outlook via the top, not through what's already on your computer, not the desktop version. Okay, type on outlook.office.com. Okay, and to the top left corner there is a little square there, and then you're going to go down to Forms. It has an F for Forms. Okay. When you pull that up, you're going to go to whatever your form is that you've already created. If you're needing to make a form, that's a different video that is on the website. But if you've already created it and now you want to see your responses, here they've listed some of your different forms. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the ones that I have created. Let's go ahead and on a blended learning walkthrough in this case. Okay, and the first thing, the way you're going to know, oh, is this the one that I type in the answers to or not, is if you see these two tabs, this is not the one you type into. Okay, however, you can click on this preview button and be able to see things the way that anyone who's taking your quiz or your form would take it. Okay, that's how. Then you click on back and it'll take you back to the editing point of view. All right, if you are wanting to share it as a collaborator, so you click on those three dots to the right and you'll see collaborate or duplicate. So why is this important to you? Collaborate, you may have somebody else that needs to edit or add things to this form. Okay, and so that's who you would have for the collaboration. It'll list who has that specific level of access that they have. You can send them a link or you can type in their names. If you type in those people, this drop down here, you're only sharing with specific people. If you do this one, that means anyone who is in DeSoto ISD can, who shares that, will be able to edit your form. Be very careful about that. This means anybody who's even not in DeSoto ISD, if they have Office 365, which is Microsoft, then they can view it and edit it. This is only if you give them specific access. Okay? This link to duplicate, if say you know you need this every year, but you would like the same data so that you can see what's happening, the difference from year to year, that's how you would do that. Okay. We also know that for Title I schools, you have to offer it in multiple languages specifically for whoever it is you're serving. So if you have a high Spanish speaking population, high Chinese speaking population, or just enough, then you can add an additional language that it comes in. Okay, if you don't see it off there, you can type it in here. Okay, you notice that it gives you various versions of Spanish. Depending on your particular students, we do have a higher Spanish population in certain areas, but they're more, as it is more from the area of Mexico. So I've added that. You can add as many as you would like. Then when you click on collect responses, it will allow you to send them an email or copy. If you send this, you copy the link and you can email them in a separate email. It also generates a QR code here if you need to send one to them, or if you're putting it on a website and you'd like to embed it, you can click there. You can make it so that only people in your organization, and later on you'll see, well, you may not see here, but you can make it so that only those people can respond, so that you don't have somebody from outside of DeSoto responding to your teacher nomination form. Okay, or you can make it where it's only certain people on your campus can respond to that form. That's up to you. Okay. Then here, this is the main purpose of it, the walking through the back end. The responses portion. So you can make it, and some of the options that you have on this back end are dependent on the kind of questions you put in your form. So when you do your view result, Okay, you can see them filled out as each person. So how did each person respond? And it will tell you what each person did. Now, note, if you make it so that anybody anywhere can respond, that means it's not going to capture their names unless you put that they have to put their name as a question. Otherwise, if you don't have that as a question, they have to have an account and it will populate their name if you make it within the district. But if it's outside of the district, outside of, Office 365, you have to make that a name and make it a requirement. Okay, so this is that way, so you can see it one at a time. Or maybe you need the nice pretty graphs and it tells you what that is and what they mean. Okay, gives you a breakdown of those different responses. Okay. All right, this also, now then you kind of get into the Excel part. So they may ask you, well, what are some different trends? Well, this one only has like 4 responses in it. But if you say you need to know how many, t-shirts that you're ordering, how many, when you're doing office supplies, how many of them need crayons, or how many of them need, tape, or whatever it is, it might be easier to see. This is fine to a point, but sometimes it might be easier to see on an actual spreadsheet. Well, they always they create a spreadsheet on your behalf. And so all you have to do is click on open in Excel and it will open that for you. Note for the Ys, make sure that you are logged in, and that way when you save it, you can save it to the cloud and always see it, because it's going to populate whatever is going on, like whatever data is in it right then. When I do the video in here in a minute for Google, the way that they populate it is it goes into Google Sheets, and it's completely web-based, where it will be, but it will update on the web base. And so that's a difference too. So when you're thinking about it, you do need to find out, which one is my preferred method. If you aren't getting additional information all the time, then, and you need more details, this might be the plan for you. Okay. So make sure that you are signed in so that whatever your changes are not only saved to your computer, they're also saved to the cloud. Okay. And with that is an overall version of the back end of Microsoft Forms.